Today I'm going to be talking about turning on hills. To start out, I have a nice mellow hill here with a stick that I'm going to make a left-hand turn around, and if this were in a section and they're ribbon up, I would definitely want to start as close as possible to the right side ribbon just to maximize the room that I do have. I'm not going to do any hopping in this corner, so it's important to use the entire section. So to do that, I'm going to come in nice and slow. I don't want to come in too fast and risk getting the brakes too hard or turning the bars too quick. Because it is loose, I could wash the front end and take a dab. So I want to be really smooth, and I'm going to start slipping the clutch as soon as I'm off the brakes and ready to go up the hill. Slipping the clutch will help maintain traction and also control over the speed that you want based on where your balance is at. Sometimes you need to speed up to catch yourself, other times you need to slow down. Sometimes you need a little more speed for certain parts of the corner, so the clutch will just be able to control that speed a lot better. And then I'm also going to come in and lean the bike a little bit, but not too much. Since you're on the side of a hill, you'll be on the side of the tire as well. So the further you lean the bike, the less traction you'll actually have. To combat that, you want to keep your body pretty straight up and down and pretty centered over the axles. You lean the bike, but not your body. And you can also get your outside knee out and get your outside foot out on the foot peg. Put most of your weight on the outside foot peg. Get your outside elbow up. Inside one pretty straight. Your inside foot will be on the peg, but it shouldn't be pressing all that hard. You can put most of your weight on that outside peg, and as soon as you're about halfway through the corner, you want to look to the end of the corner so you stay in your line and exit right where you want to. Now I have something quite a bit harder that's going to take some pretty precise hopping. I'm going to come down the hill, turn halfway, and head back up. Now this hill is actually pretty steep and really loose, a lot of gravel-sized rocks. It's going to be very slippery, so when I walk it, I want to make sure I find a place I can set the tires to hop in order to get the maximum amount of traction that is there. So as I come down, I'm going to go as slow as I can to control the tires so I don't slide. So I have to be very smooth and easy on the brakes, and then I'm going to search for that spot that I found when I was walking, which in this case is right here. I'm going to get the front tire right there. It's the most solid option I have on this hill where I have to turn, and I'm going to take very small hops. If you do big hops downwards on a hill, you just don't know what's going to happen when the rear tire lands. Maybe you land right here on this rock and it's all good, but you could miss it. You could land, the tire could slide, or maybe it catches something grippy, flexes, rebounds. You just don't want to take that risk and stuff like this. So small hops, much more consistent, much less risky. And then once I get about parallel with the hill, then I know I can do a full bike hop to line myself in the groove and hopefully land balanced, slip the clutch as much as possible, and hopefully get some traction in this very loose terrain. Coming in nice and slow, looking for that spot to set the front tire, stop right there, then work the little hops. Make sure I'm ready for the next one. Before I do it, little by little, oh, lost the front there for a second, but now that I'm close to parallel, do my flick. Always try to land on the rear brake. When you're hopping on hills like that, definitely settles the bike down more consistent. Or if you can't get at it, then land the clutch slipping, a little bit of throttle on. Now to get out of this clean. Turning on hills is tough, but as I just showed you, it doesn't take much to get a good practice in. I can take the techniques that I learn on these small banks and apply them to the biggest hills anywhere. So keep that in mind no matter where you're riding.